Hey guys, welcome back. In this particular video we will add the validation related stuff. So in here, first thing which we need to do is adding the binding result object. So let us do that. Binding result, the name of the object we will give is result. Alright, and we need to also add the annotation valid in here in order to initiate the validation. So let us also add the required package. Alright, so everything looks cool. And what would be the rule? Definitely we will navigate to the model. We will say that it should be a valid email address. So we will say at email. So as of now, we won't complicate the validation rules. We will simply check whether the validation is working properly with reference to email or not. Alright, so everything looks cool in here. So now let us update the internal code. In here I will say if result dot has errors, then we would be displaying the validation message, and which is very simple. In fact, we will get rid of this particular code from here and we will paste it in here. Alright, so if there is an error, we will be resending the user object and we would be reloading the form with the errors. And then we have the else part. If there is no issue with the validation, then we would be loading the home page again, and the way is pretty simple. And here we will say return forward colon slash. Slash is nothing but the URL of the home page. So this time this particular functionality will do things like this. Let me show you. Let me start the web server first. Means when the user submits the proper information, then we would be reloading the home page and we would be displaying the list. Definitely we are not adding the row as of now. And if there is a validation error, then the form itself should give us the validation error. So let me click on this add user link. Now friends, here is our web application. Now friends, in here we have this add user link, and as soon as we click on this add user link, the web application will reload our home page. And the reason why there is this strange mechanism is because this particular method add user need to handle the form. It also needs to handle the loading of the form for the very first time. So it is doing two things, loading the form, and it is also handling the form which is submitted by the user. For that matter of purpose, in here we need to do something extra. Now understand this, that when the form is getting loaded for the very first time, it doesn't have any errors, but the value of the form elements, for example email and name, would be null, and the else part will get executed. So as soon as the else part is getting executed, we are reloading the home page, and this is the reason why the home page is getting reloaded. Now in order to handle the form loading as well, we need to do something extra in here. As we know that for the very first time when we would be loading the form, the value of these elements, name and email, would be null. Then we would be adding a condition in here. So let's add condition in here for the form loading process. So in here we will say if user dot get name is not equals null and user dot get email is not equals to null, then and only then we will be redirecting this to the home page. Else we would be returning the string add user. So when we are loading the form for the very first time, this particular else part will get executed. And let me do one more thing in here. I will print a message loading form in here in order to give us a notification on the console that we are loading the form for the very first time. So let me click on this add user link now. Here we go. So now it will load the form properly, which is fantastic. Now let us also check whether the validation is working properly or not. Let us add some test string in here, and it says not a well formed email address. Perfect. And if I say admin at studyeasy.org, whether this works properly or not. Fantastic. Alright, so everything is working properly. In our next video, we will try to understand how we can insert the value into our database using this particular method, which is definitely easy, and we would be updating the DAO class a little, and I suppose that would be the last video in this particular section, and then we're gonna jump into AOP related videos. So saying that, I suppose I have made myself clear. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day and take care.